What if I told you natural bodybuilding is a complete waste of time? But isn't that what I do and promote daily on this channel and in my real life? Is natural bodybuilding? No. I am against natural bodybuilding competitions. And there's a big difference between living a real, natural lifting life versus competing in natural bodybuilding competitions. And I'm going to get into that because I've done 4 shows in my teens and it opened my eyes and humbled me to bodybuilding as a whole and natural bodybuilding specifically. So I'm going to get in the details of my history with natural bodybuilding competitions and the shows that are being run and what you could do to avoid the things that I did. And if you still want to pursue that goal, you're absolutely more than welcome to. This is just my opinion, my anecdote, what I've been through, my mistakes. We'll see if they spark innovation in you. So my first show, I was right at 18, and I'm not going to get in too much detail of what happened, but something happened a week beforehand that I could not completely focus on the show. But I still went in and did it. I had zero help, very low experience in, I guess, bodybuilding in general because this is my first show, right? If it's your first show, then you're inexperienced. So that was me, okay? So everyone always said, you're going to lose your first show. Not always true because there are some people that their first show they win. So I was like, okay, well, that's not good logic. I had an ego of like, dude, I'm going in to win. Like, tunnel vision. I'm winning, right? So I was told you need to get a tan and oil up before the show. And this was back, I mean, they've had to have done them. And let me know if you've done natural bodybuilding shows and they do it for you. And going forward, in my other 3 shows, they did do it for me. But the first show I did, I had to worry about my tan entirely. And I had to worry about oiling up before the show entirely too. So I just went to like a spray tan place, like a suntan city, and got a spray tan there. And then brought baby oil with me for the show, right? And it's funny thinking about it 'cause it's so ridiculous and asinine thinking about it now. But that tan looked white on stage because that's not the tan you need for a bodybuilding stage. So against everyone else, I was like a ghost. I looked so white. It was, dude, that first show was atrocious. Okay. It was so bad, and the music I picked was so bad. It was like pretty sure it was like a techno song, and like everyone was like freaking, I'm sure the whole crowd was like, what is this guy thinking? He's in a purple Speedo, like, oh my God. It was it was an experience, did horribly. It's first show, total bomb. Bad mindset going in, didn't have any help, horrible tan, it just didn't even get to pump up. I was nervous. I was the only one there by myself as far as like my team, you know. It was a good experience and a bad experience, let's put it that way. Okay. Now my other 3 get a little bit better. I learned from the first experience, and then going forward, every venue I went to did the tanning there for you. Now, it was an extra like $100, $200 to do that. But hey, bodybuilding was going to be my life. So I decided to invest in the tanning that they offered. And lo and behold, I finally looked like the freaking darkest person on that stage I could be, right? Helped out quite a bit. So if they offer tanning there, definitely do it. Like, that's just a no-brainer. Everyone does that now. It is what it is. Now, I did all of these shows 6 months after each other. Okay. Now that may have been a mistake. So I did all these shows. My first one was in September. The next one was like April, and then September, and then my last one was in like April of the next year. So it was 2 years running, 6 months apart. That's how I structured my natural bodybuilding competition career. That's what I did. That was probably a mistake too, because how are you going to grow within 6 months? I don't want to say I grew necessarily in those 2 years. Like my best gains ever weren't in those 2 years. But I did learn how to cut better for each show going forward and how peak week went going forward. Okay. Now I will clarify here that I had zero help. I was my own coach. Okay. Other than guys in the gym giving me tips for peak week or just lifting in general, it's all been me. I've always been my own coach. I've never hired anyone. I've only done my own research, my own anecdotal experience, and just some respected guys in the gym. That's it. I've always ran experiments on myself. And I have a ton of those on my channel too. Like I've run through a lot of different programs just to try them on myself. Okay. And I did want to pursue bodybuilding on a more grand scale. Okay. And I thought I could do it naturally, but it's not possible. It's not possible despite what everyone tells you. Okay. So going into my last show, I remember being backstage and I saw the winner. Now, let me clarify real quick. This was weigh-ins. So it wasn't even backstage. This was all of us getting to the weigh-ins. Like, showing them your NPC card, the other thing you have to freaking pay for. And I saw the winner. Okay. I'm in a natural bodybuilding competition with over 200 competitors, I think. It was a lot. And I saw the winner. I was like, that dude is winning. Because he looked so much different from all the other naturals. There's a look. And we all know what this look means. That look meant he's sus. That look meant, bruh, you're teetering on the fake natty look, right? Like, yeah, your weigh-in weight was 182, but you're like 5'5". Yeah, man, I just knew him, and yeah, he ended up winning that show, and I'm not gonna throw accusations out there. I'm not gonna be that person about it, but that's just my opinion on it. That's just my opinion. I do think a lot of guys sneak their way in to natural bodybuilding competitions while after taking performance enhancing drugs or currently on them and are just flagging under the polygraphs and under the urine tests. Just is what it is. Okay? It's been done. It happens. And I thought I was being virtuous doing bodybuilding shows in general. On top of that, them being natural. All the while me being deluded that I could actually win one of these when there's guys like that, doing those things to do these naturals in, It's just silly. I'm not saying it happens at every show, but it happens to a lot of them, So if you're a God-honest, real, natural dude who spent a lot of time and effort and resources building their body better than what it was, and you're going into these bodybuilding competitions, you're going to be doing it for strictly yourself, right? Like, that's the takeaway I would offer is you need to do this for you and to measure your progress going forward. Like, if your goal is strictly aesthetics, then what needs to happen is every time you do a show, if that's the way you want to go, the way you want to track your progress or etch in your competition mindset, right? then you need to just, I would say you need to just track your progress in how you look each time you do your show, right? And this is everyone talks about, like everyone talks about this, like you're better than last time, right? That's what I would go with going forward. If I were to do bodybuilding competitions now, that's all I would do them for. I would just say I want to get as lean as possible, get on show to prove I was that way, not necessarily for a title or a trophy, and then I would wait probably 2 years and do it again to see where I improved. Was I leaner at a heavier weight? That usually means an improvement in body mass. Did I look better? Were my proportions better? Was my symmetry better? Did I get more definition in certain areas? That's the stuff I would look at. And that's the things that, for me, would be important going forward if you chose to be a natural bodybuilding competition person, right? And out of those 4 years, I learned a lot, and I learned a lot about the industry I didn't like, and all this to really say, it's all a learning experience anyway, right? I did what I needed to do in bodybuilding to learn what I needed to learn to be where I am right now, which, in my opinion, is a really good lifetime natural fitness enthusiast that loves doing everything, is still healthy. I'm not snapped up. My hormones aren't a wreck. I'm able to be fertile enough. Like, my virility is still there. To me, that's a virtue, right? Not to knock all the guys that do things. I don't really care. It's a free world. You can do whatever you want. So my answer is yes and no. It is a scam, so to speak, if people aren't playing by the rules, and that's just life. It's also not a scam because you get to learn a lot about yourself, your body, your competition mindset, your drive. A lot of things happen. There was good and bad. These are just my experiences, what I've learned, and this is what I'm doing going forward. So I don't think I'll ever step on stage again, but I know what to look forward, or I know what to look for me when I do any other endeavor. It's putting myself forward in these stepping stones to looking better, and all of this progress is retrospective anyway. So I hope that's been informative for you guys on my experience with natural bodybuilding competition, and I will see you guys next time.